Are you dreaming of visiting Switzerland? Planning a trip to Switzerland is very exciting, but it can also be overwhelming. How do you choose which of the many scenic cities, towns and villages to visit? Which mountaintop excursions should you take? And what's the best way to get around Switzerland? And of course, how much of the country can you realistically see within your time frame? If you've asked yourself any of these questions, this is the podcast for you. This is the Holidays to Switzerland travel podcast, and in each episode, your host Caroline Schonnefinger chats with Swiss travel experts to answer your most commonly asked questions, provide practical tips, and take you on a virtual visit to the most popular destinations, and of course some hidden gems to help you plan your dream trip to Switzerland. And you'll hear plenty of conversations about Swiss cheese and chocolate too. Are you ready to plan your trip to Switzerland? Well, let's get started.
Ritzy, hello, and welcome to episode 109 of the Holidays to Switzerland podcast. I'm your host, Carolyn, and I'm excited that you've joined me today to get tips and inspiration for your Swiss vacation. Now, we all hope for sunshine and perfect weather conditions when we're on vacation, but the reality is that's not always the case. Unfortunately, the weather is one thing that we just can't control. And with its location at the foot of the Bernese Alps, Interlaken, just like most destinations in Switzerland, is susceptible to some rainy and overcast days, even during the summer. So if the weather isn't suitable for heading to the mountains or for experiencing one of the adventure sports that the region is famous for, what can you do? Well, thankfully, there is plenty of choice. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome back Renato Julier to tell us about some of the fun all-weather activities in and around Interlaken that you can enjoy. Hello, Renato. Welcome back to the podcast. It's great to have you here today to talk to us about some of the all-weather things that we can do in Interlaken. Would you like to introduce yourself for those folks who haven't heard you on previous episodes? And also tell us what it is that you love most about the Interlaken holiday region.
Of course. Well, hello, everyone. Hello, Caroline. My name is Renato Julier. I'm a tourism and marketing expert. I'm known for my role as a director markets for the Interlaken holiday region, which lies in the heart of Switzerland in the Bernese Oberland at the foot of Eiger, Mönch and Jungfrau of the famous iconic mountain trio. I was born and grew up in the Valais, which is in the southwestern German part of Switzerland, very close to the Italian border. And I've been working in tourism for 25 years now and have held various positions for different local, regional, national tourism organizations, railway companies, thermal spas and marketing companies in Switzerland and abroad. I've been working for Interlaken Tourism for 7 years now. Interlaken Tourism is a key organization or regional tourism destination that promotes and develops tourism activities in the whole Interlaken holiday region. I am typically involved in creating strategies to enhance visitor experience, promoting sustainable tourism, of course, because Interlaken is probably one of the best destinations to discover Switzerland by bus, by train, and by boat. And I'm also working with local businesses, stakeholders to position Interlaken as one of the top travel destinations in Switzerland. So my work includes marketing, event planning, communication. I'm creating partnerships to attract tourists from around the world. With a team of 5 people, we serve around 20 markets around the whole world, and I'm personally responsible for the Italian, GCC, Japanese, Australian, and New Zealand market. So I have a very nice mix. Interlaken itself, it's located in the Bernese Oberland in Switzerland. Interlaken is very famous for its stunning landscapes, including the views to the mountains, especially to Eigermönch and Jungfrau. Interlaken has as well a wide range of outdoor activities, such as paragliding, skiing, and hiking. And it's also very well known as the European capital of adventure. And of course, Interlaken is also the gateway to the Jungfrau region, to the famous mountain destination. And what makes Interlaken very special, it is his unique location between two lakes, between Lake Brienz and Lake Thun. I always call it Switzerland in one place. Bad weather doesn't exist because we have plenty of all weather experiences and activities in different seasons. Interlaken itself, I always call it my playground. It's a perfect blend of nature, of relaxation, of culture, of course, and scenic beauty regardless of the weather.
It's certainly Switzerland in a nutshell, isn't it? You've got absolutely everything there in one location. You mentioned there that there's no such thing as bad weather in Interlaken. So there is a saying, there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. But for those people that perhaps didn't pack a raincoat and they're in Switzerland, they're in Interlaken, and unfortunately the weather's not sunny and it's not suitable for going up to one of the mountains, what are some of the all-weather activities that they can enjoy in Interlaken? I know there's quite a few. So could you start by telling us one of the all-weather activities that people might perhaps like to enjoy?
Yeah, well, I really have to underline that Interlaken has a very nice infrastructure. People normally don't know there are a lot of reasons why they should discover Switzerland, especially Interlaken, also in rainy days. Reason number one, there's probably a mystical atmosphere during rain in Interlaken, which creates a mystical ambience. And you can imagine the clouds descend over the mountains, giving the landscape an eternal, almost otherworldly appearance. And this is already great. Also the lush greenery. The rain brings out the rich, vibrant hues of the surrounding meadows. For example, also waterfalls. Just to discover waterfalls, it's amazing during rainfalls. So rainfalls feed the numerous waterfalls in the region. And of course, we have plenty of them, such as the famous Staubach, Trümmelbach Falls in the Jungfrau region, or also the Giesbach Falls in Lake Brienz. And these waterfalls become more powerful and dramatic during rainy weather because they're offering breathtaking sight and sound, and also the reflection in the lakes, the cozy mountain retreats. These are two reasons more to discover Switzerland also in rainy season. There are also scenic train rides, for example, to nearby destinations like Jungfraujoch, top of Europe, or Schenige Platte, which can especially captivating in the rain. And watching the rain-drenched landscape pass from the comfort of a train car adds to the charm. And of course, there are hot springs and wellness spas because the region is also home to wellness spas and hot springs. And on a rainy day, soaking in a hot bath with panoramic views of the rainy landscape, it's an experience of relaxation and rejuvenation. So there are quite a lot of things which you can do in bad weather. I can just start with some hidden treasures. One of the hidden treasures, which I really have to underline, is the Swiss Selfie Museum in Unterseen near Interlaken, which is a unique attraction that offers visitors an interactive, immersive experience. This is perfect for capturing creative photos and selfies. So this museum is part of the growing trend of selfie museums, as you know, or Instagram museums around the world, and where people can take pictures in vibrant, imaginative settings. And what you can expect at the Swiss Selfie Museum? There are interactive installations. So the museum features numerous themed rooms and installations designed to be visually striking and highly Instagrammable. There's everything from optical illusions, you could say, to creative props. Each room offers a different backdrops for taking selfies and fun photos. There are, for example, infinity rooms with mirrors, lighting effects, which create endless reflections for perfect eye-catching photos. There are upside-down rooms, or there are also 3D murals and with augmented reality, with interactive 3D art pieces, AR elements who are adding a new dimension to photos and making them look like you're stepping into another world. And it's also really great to all ages. The location is very convenient because it's located in Unterseen, near Interlaken, easy reachable in just 5 minutes walking distance from the train station Interlaken West. And this is something which you shouldn't miss in bad weather.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you did give me the tip when I was in Interlaken recently about going to the Swiss Selfie Museum. And yeah, it was really, really fun time that we had there. I did chat about that on episode 103 on my trip report. And yeah, it was better than I expected, I have to say, the way the 3D murals have been done. And it's really good. We got some really great photos from there. We spent about an hour there. Do you think that would be a reasonable amount of time for most people?
Yes, of course. I would really have to say that 1 hour should be enough. So the Swiss Selfie Museum is really great for all ages. I really have to say it's doable in 1 hour, really, to pass through and then to take your selfies. Yes, of course.
Okay, great. Now, another fun thing that we did on a rainy day in Interlaken was visit the Funky Chocolate Club and do a workshop there. So could you explain to our listeners a bit more about that?
Well, the Funky Chocolate Club in Interlaken is a popular attraction where visitors can indulge in the world of Swiss chocolate. And they can do it through fun, interactive workshops and tasting sessions. This venue is really unique, very familiar, and it offers a hands-on experience that allows chocolate lovers to learn more about the art of making Swiss chocolate and also making it. It's a real must visit spot in Interlaken. So the highlights of the Funky Chocolate Club are, of course, the chocolate making workshop. So the Funky Chocolate Club is the best known for its chocolate making workshops because participants can create their own delicious Swiss chocolate from scratch. And these workshops are led by professional chocolatiers who guide guests through the process of tempering chocolate, so molding it into various shapes and adding unique toppings. And it's an all ages experience in English. The workshop is really designed to be suitable for all ages, from children to adults. It's a great family activity. So kids especially enjoy the hands-on element on crafting their own chocolate bars. Participants can also learn more about the history and the production of Swiss chocolate, what makes it extra special, to see the process of turning raw cacao beans into the world-famous Swiss treat. And of course, there's also chocolate tasting part where visitors have the chance to taste different types of Swiss chocolate, from dark to milk to white, and learn to distinguish between various flavors and textures. And you can create personalized creation. So at the end of the workshop, participants get to take home their creations. This is a perfect and unique souvenir. And there's also nice cafe and shop, which is integrated. So the Funky Chocolate Club also features a cozy cafe and a shop where visitors can relax and enjoy a hot chocolate, a coffee, or a chocolate fondue. And the shop itself, it's really, really beautiful and has a lot of Swiss chocolate, cacao products, and is related to souvenir that make for great gifts. You can also book it for private events, for groups. It has a capacity up to 12 people. And the location, it's really amazing. It's based in the heart of Interlaken. It's easy accessible, makes for a great stop during a day to exploring the town, to explore many other attractions. So this is a very nice attraction, which you shouldn't miss, which I really highly recommend.
It's certainly a lot of fun. And one of the good things I think too is that the workshops can be taken later in the afternoon as well. So if people want to do other things during the day, they can then come back into Interlaken, and if they've booked into a workshop later in the afternoon, they can fit plenty into their day.
That's right. And it's all year open, by the way. It's small, but it's very familiar. This is really what makes it even more special.
And as you mentioned earlier, it's right in Interlaken, so it's very easy to get to. It's just off the main street between the two train stations, so it's very convenient.
Yeah, that's right.
So if we were going a little bit outside of Interlaken now, what are some of the other all-weather activities that people could enjoy?
Well, from in and around Interlaken, there are many other attractions to discover. There is also another attraction which I highly recommend. It's the Traufer World of Experience. So this is an attraction which you shouldn't miss. Traufer World of Experience, it's immersive, you could say, attraction, which is based in Hofstetten near Brienz. So Hofstetten, it's a very small village, easily reachable from Interlaken in about 45 minutes by train and also by bus. You can also go there by taking the boat and combine it with a short bus tour from Brienz to Hofstetten. It is dedicated to the famous Traufer wooden toys, particularly iconic hand-carved and painted Swiss cow figurines that have become a symbol of Swiss tradition and craftsmanship. So this unique experience blends tradition, craftsmanship, you could say, and modern tourism to offer the visitors a glimpse into Swiss heritage. So highlights of the Traufer World are the wooden toy factory tour. So visitors can take a guided tours of the Traufer toy factory where they can see the entire process of crafting the famous wooden cow and other toys. And the tour provides insight into the handcrafting techniques and the high quality standards, because most of them, they are all handcrafted, that goes into making each piece unique. And so you'll see artisans at work carving, painting, and assembling these beloved toys. Visitors have also the opportunity to participate in hands-on workshops where they can paint and carve their own wooden cow or other wooden toys. And this is a very great activity for children and adults, allowing them to take home personalized souvenir. By the way, there's also a very nice exhibition area that takes visitors through the history of the Traufer family. So the name Traufer, it's a very well-known family name of their business, which is going back to 1938. It showcases also the evolution of the iconic wooden toys, especially the cows, and how they became part of the Swiss culture. Because till today, you can see or find this Swiss wooden cows, especially the Traufer cow, in more or less every Swiss souvenir store. This exhibition is also very nice because it combines multimedia presentations, historical artifacts, and interactive display. And of course, there is also a boutique and a souvenir shop. There are also very nice restaurants with traditional Swiss food. Of course, the Traufer World of Experience, it's also allocated to a small hotel. So for those who wish to stay longer, there is also a small hotel with 20 rooms, which is called Bretter Hotel. It's a unique on-site hotel with rooms designed to reflect the rustic yet charming Swiss mountain style, featuring modern amenities and a cozy atmosphere. Some of them have also a sauna inside the room, and the location is very scenic. So you have a beautiful view down to Lake Brienz as well. And it's, by the way, not so far from the Ballenberg Swiss Open Air Museum, which is just 100 meters away.
Yeah, well, I'll ask you about that in a moment. But the Traufer World of Experience, if someone was planning to visit there, how long do you think they should allow for that? A couple of hours without the travel time?
I would say they should stay minimum 2 hours there, because it's Traufer World of Experience offers such a blend of cultural, educational, and interactive experience that really appeal to all ages. Especially if you're interested to the whole process of wood carving. So it's a perfect place for families and also for toy enthusiasts. But I would say the minimum stay, it's about 2 hours, because you should really have the time also to probably visit one of the beautiful restaurants which are inside, because Traufer World of Experience provides a memorable experience that really captures the essence of Swiss culture.
You mentioned that Ballenberg Open Air Museum is just 100 meters away from Traufer. What can you tell us about that?
This is something what you really have to visit as well, because this is unique. It's the only Swiss Open Air Museum. It's a fascinating cultural destination, which is located in Hofstetten near Brienz. This expansive museum offers a unique opportunity, you could say, to explore Switzerland's rural heritage through a collection of historical buildings, traditional crafts, immersive experiences. There's also a place where you can see and discover real Swiss animals. So highlights of the Ballenberg Swiss Open Air Museum are the following. You can visit, discover historical buildings. So at the Ballenberg Swiss Open Air Museum, you will find over 100 historical buildings that have been meticulously relocated and restored from various regions of Switzerland. So these all include farmhouses, barns, and workshops, showcasing different architectural styles and building techniques from various Swiss regions and historical periods, of course. Then they have interactive exhibitions. So visitors can explore the interior of these buildings, which are often furnished with, you could imagine, with period appropriate artifacts and decoration. This hand-on approach allows guests to step back in time and experience Swiss rural life as it was in centuries past. And of course, you can see traditional crafts and demonstration. So the museum hosts live demonstration of traditional Swiss crafts and trades, such as cheese making, which is very stunning, which I really have to recommend highly. Blacksmithing, weaving, wood carving. So skilled artisans perform these crafts, providing educational insights into historical techniques and their significance in Swiss culture. And of course, there are historic farm animals. So Ballenberg is home to a variety of traditional Swiss farm animals. So you can imagine there are no kangaroos or koala in Switzerland. But of course, you will see and discover cows, goats, sheep, and chickens. And these animals are kept in settings that mimic the historical living condition, enhancing the authentic feel of the museum. And of course, there are also gardens and agriculture. So they have a lot of various types and plants of different regions of Switzerland. And of course, they have also seasonal events and festivals. So by the way, you will also find nice restaurants and shops. Last but not least, a lot of people are visiting Switzerland with all-in-one ticket called Swiss Travel Pass. So if you are want to visit the Ballenberg Swiss Open Air Museum and you have Swiss Travel Pass or you have own Swiss Travel Pass with you, it's free of charge. So thanks to the Swiss Travel Pass, it's all-in-one ticket, which gives you free access to all train, boats, and buses in Switzerland. You have also a huge plus, which is the Swiss Museum Pass. And the Swiss Ballenberg Museum is also part of the Swiss Museum Pass, which gives you a free entrance.
Fantastic. And that sounds like it would be a great family-friendly destination too.
Yeah, of course, for families, it's amazing. Regarding the opening hours, I really have to underline that because the museum is not open the whole year. The museum is generally open from April to October. It's best to check the website and to contact them directly also for up-to-date information, such as, if they would have specific opening hours, new events as well. And the tickets can be purchased at the entrance or also online, but it's a really nice experience which you shouldn't miss.
Okay, that sounds like a great option, especially to combine that with the Traufer World of Experience. Now, what about if people want to get out on the lakes and enjoy the lakes? What sort of activities can they enjoy regardless of the weather conditions?
Well, as I mentioned it already before, Interlaken is also very well known as the European capital of adventure. Especially Interlaken is the perfect place for outdoor activities. And there are also all-weather outdoor activities. And I just want to mention two of them. I want to start with kayaking on Lake Brienz. So first of all, Lake Brienz is very well known for his shiny turquoise color. And it's actually the deepest alpine lake in Switzerland with a depth of 260 meters. And what I really recommend is to go for a kayak tour or to do kayaking on Lake Brienz. It's popular, highly recommended activity for visitors because also at Lake Brienz, you find this breathtaking mountain scenery that provides you an ideal setting for both novice and experienced kayakers. There are many reasons why you should do kayaking, why you should go for kayaking on Lake Brienz, because it offers unparalleled views of the surrounding mountains, including the peaks of the Brienz, the Rothorn, and the Emmental region. And the lakes are really clear water that reflects picturesque landscapes. With our provider on site, they have very high variety of routes. So we can really adapt the tour to your fitness level, to the outside condition, to the amount of the people. So the lake size and also the shape allows for a variety of kayaking routes. And you can choose from leisurely paddles near the shore or more adventurous routes exploring the lake's deeper waters. And you can also combine your kayak tour with popular spots, with waterfalls, also with hidden coves. So there are a lot of things which you can discover. You can, of course, also discover wildlife and nature. So bird watching is also a popular activity. So you may encounter local wildlife and enjoy the lush natural surroundings. The access is very easy. So it normally starts in Bönigen at the shore of Lake Brienz. So you can easily reach Bönigen in a bus ride of only 10 minutes from Interlaken Ost or Interlaken West. And also in wintertime, it's very popular because you can also wear a dry suit. So that protects you against the cold, and it's really safe. So all people will get life vests as well, because as you know, safety is probably the most important thing in Switzerland. So you will be safe. Of course, you will get an experienced guide who will adapt the tour to your needs.
Fantastic. Okay. And what about something a bit more high adrenaline?
Well, of course, there is something. What I really have to recommend is jet boating on Lake Brienz. This is an exhilarating thing to experience the stunning natural beauty of the Swiss lakes. And Lake Brienz offers also a unique backdrop for high-speed and adrenaline-pumping jet boat rides. So a jet boat, it's a speedboat on Lake Brienz, which has a capacity of 12 people. And it's an all-year-round activity. And during a jet boat ride of about 1 hour, you will do some turns and spin with full speed on the lake. So jet boating provides a high-speed adventure with sharp turns, you could say with powerful acceleration and really exciting maneuver. And the boats are designed to handle swift movements and offer a thrilling ride across the lake surface. During the jet boat ride, you can really enjoy, as you jet across Lake Brienz, you will enjoy the panoramic views of the surrounding mountains, including the Brienz Rothorn and other peaks. This really creates, you could say, a breathtaking backdrop for your adventure. So it's adrenaline pumping, fun. The experience is really designed to be both thrilling and safe. So the jet boats are capable of high speed and sharp turn. Of course, there are professional operators, and it's an ideal activity for those who are looking for an adrenaline rush.
And is there an age limit for the jet boat rides?
Yeah, normally it's accessible for children who are older than 6 years old. But the operators adhere to strict safety standards, including providing life jackets and then conducting safety briefing. And it's really essential to follow all safety instruction. But for children who are older than 5 years old, it's easy accessible as well.
Good. That's good to know. So what about cruise, like just your regular kind of cruise? If someone just wants to go and do a sightseeing cruise, I know that there are cruises on both Lake Brienz and Lake Thun. Are they both accessible all year round?
Unfortunately not. So Lake Thun is accessible the whole year, Lake Brienz only in summertime. But both Lake Brienz and Lake Thun, they are offering, you could say, a relaxing and scenic way to explore probably two of Switzerland. I always really have to say that Switzerland's most beautiful lakes, which are both located in the Bernese Oberland near Interlaken. These both lakes are really renowned for their stunning landscapes, their clear blue or turquoise water, and their picturesque town. So from Interlaken, you have also the opportunity to explore other villages during a cruise. For example, on Lake Brienz, you can visit the wood carving capital of Switzerland, Brienz, or Iseltwald, which was elected already many times and one of the most beautiful villages in Switzerland due to his location on a half island at Lake Brienz. You can also take a cruise on Lake Thun and discover the beautiful town of Spiez with a winery, or last but not least, discover the city of Thun, which is a beautiful medieval city surrounded by 5 castles. So what is the best of Lake Brienz? I would say it's probably also the possibility that you can combine a cruise on Lake Brienz with other spectacular attractions. For example, the Brienz Rothorn, which is a steam train. You can also combine a ride on Lake Brienz with a visit of the Giersbach waterfall, which are very stunning. So you can easily reach it in about 45 minutes and just discover the biggest private nature park in Switzerland with a stunning waterfall, which falls down about 500 meters in 14 scales. And Giersbach, this is a real hidden treasure. And also Iseltwald, it's a very nice spot. You can go there for a hiking tour. The area is really known for its traditional Swiss charm and for the beautiful views as well. Regarding the types of cruises, there are regular scheduled cruises, which are operated by BLS Navigation Company, or you could also say Interlaken Lake Cruises. And there are also special themed cruises, or occasionally special themed cruises, especially on Lake Thun, such as dinner cruises or sunset cruises are available for more unique experience. On Lake Thun, you can combine, for example, your cruise with a visit of one of the 5 castles. So Lake Thun offers a variety of scenic experience, from mountains to picturesque towns to castles along its shores. This lake, Lake Thun, is larger and wider than Lake Brienz, providing a different perspective of the region. Thun is very nice spot, the medieval town, which you really have to discover, which is very known for its beautiful castle, and of course also Spiez for his vineyards. I really always recommend to book in advance, especially if you want to have dinner or drinks in the restaurants on the boat. So it's really always give you the tip, advice to book your cruise in advance to ensure availability, especially if you're interested in specific routes or special cruises. And also there, if you have a Swiss travel pass, like your all-in-one ticket, you have free access. And it also gives you quite a good flexibility because there are many regular cruises on both lakes.
So you can just go and decide, let's go on a cruise, and go and hop on and show your Swiss travel pass to the ticket inspector when they come around, and you're good to go. No need to pay any more.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So this is a big plus, and it's probably unique in the whole world. So the Swiss travel pass, you could also, for example, buy another ticket like a Berner Oberland pass, which gives you also quite a lot of reduction and a lot of add-on, where you can also use the cruises for free. It gives you more flexibility, and so you can really enjoy your ride on the lake.
Wonderful. Now, one other place you can visit from Lake Thun, and you could get off the boat if you're doing it by cruise, or you could actually visit there by bus, and that is St. Beatus Caves.
Yeah, so the St. Beatus caves are a fascinating, you could say, destination or caves near Interlaken, easily reachable in only 15 minutes by bus. And they are combining a natural wonder, you could say, with a bit of a local legend. And the location of the caves, they are about 10 kilometers away from Interlaken. And the caves are accessible by car, bus, or even in a pleasant walk from Interlaken. And according to the local legend, the caves were once home of a fearsome dragon. Saint Beatus, missionary from Ireland, is said to have driven the dragon away, and the caves have been named in his honor. If you visit the caves, you can still find his grave of this missionary from Ireland. What you can expect at the St. Beatus caves. So the caves feature a network of underground tunnels adorned with impressive stalactites and stalagmites, and the paths are well lit and accessible, make it very easy for visitors of all ages to explore. A tour through the St. Beatus caves typically includes several sections, including the Grand Hall, the Great Dome, and also the Lake Hall. If you want, you can also book a guided tour. So self-guided tours are available, but there are also guided tours that provide more detailed information about the geology of the caves, and of course, also the local legend. There's also a visitor center with exhibits on the history of the caves, and they also have gift shop and a very nice restaurants. Surrounding the caves, there are several hiking trails that offers beautiful views to Lake Thun and also the mountains. These trails range in difficulty and length, providing options for with easy and more challenging hikes. Just to combine your tour as well, for example, with a boat tour from Interlaken West to Sundlaunen, and then you can do a short walk of about 45 minutes maximum to the caves and then coming back by bus. This is also a very nice round tour, which I highly recommend.
Okay. And the caves, can you visit them all year round?
So the caves are usually open from spring to autumn with specific hours varying by season. But in the last years, they started it to open as well in wintertime, especially during the weekends. Thanks to this adaptation, the caves are technically open the whole year. But it's always the best to check the official website for the most current opening hours. And sometimes there are also special events, especially music events, or you can also enjoy a raclette, a real Swiss dish, melted cheese inside in the caves. And it depends as well on the weather consideration, because the caves maintain a cool and consistent temperature, but it's also a good idea always to bring a light jacket or a sweater, even on warm days. This location will be open, especially from this year, also at the weekends in winter time.
Okay, that's great to know. Well, there's certainly plenty of different activities that people can enjoy regardless of the weather when they're in the Interlaken holiday region. I'm sure there's plenty of other things too, and I guess they will all be listed on the Interlaken website. What's the web address for those people who want to look up and get even more ideas?
Well, it's interlaken.ch. So under this website, you will find more information about experiences and activities in the whole destination.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I'll also include in the show notes links to the previous episodes where you've joined us. I know on the last episode, number 72, we chatted a bit more about the different castles that you mentioned there around Lake Thun. So for those folks who'd like to learn more about those, they might want to go back and listen to that episode again. And yes, all those links will be in the show notes for this episode. Thank you so much, Renato, for joining me again today and for giving up your time to tell us all about the many things to do in Interlaken, whatever the weather.
Yeah, so Interlaken, it's an all-weather destination, so bad weather doesn't exist. Switzerland, we're always saying there is no bad weather. You can just wear bad clothes, but there's a lot to discover. I would be very happy to welcome you all in Interlaken, the European capital of adventure, or as I call it, Switzerland in one place.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you too, Caroline.
It's so good to know that there are plenty of things to see and do in and around Interlaken, regardless of the weather. Even if the sun isn't shining, all is not lost. The fantastic public transport network means you can still visit some really interesting attractions and enjoy lots of fun activities. A boat or train ride gives you the chance to soak up the mystical atmosphere on rainy days. And if you're not concerned about getting wet, there are plenty of waterfalls to visit and water-based activities to enjoy too. I really hope you'll get some great weather days when you're visiting Interlaken and the Jungfrau region. But if not, at least you know there are lots of ways to fill your days if the conditions aren't ideal for taking a mountain excursion. If you'd like to learn more about any of the all-weather activities that Renato has chatted about today, head on over to the show notes. I'll also include links to Renato's previous appearances on the podcast, episodes 4 and 72, and a link to my free guide, 21 Useful Things to Know Before You Visit Switzerland. You'll find the show notes at holidaystoswitzerland.com/episode 109. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this episode, I'd be super grateful if you could leave a 5-star rating or a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks in advance. Until next time, tschüss!